Hello, Wild Wisdom Warriors. Hello, YouTube. Hello, my shamans from around the world. My dear shamans, thank you so much for joining me for my journal. This is Lily Kolosova, and today is May 5th. So it's 5/5/2020. So welcome everyone to my journal. Thank you so much for joining me. And before I go into what's up with the media purge and what's happening with that whole crowd up there, it's kind of, I know I need some wine for this, but I'm going to stick to my tonic water. So my virgin mimosa, gang, tonic virgin mimosa. So here we go with some actually quite a bit of lime. I like a lot of not lime. I like a lot of lemon in my virgin mimosas. All right, you guys. So, well, okay, let's unravel this. So let's unravel the media purge and let's give the update. What's going on, you guys? Because this is kind of part of, a lot of you people here that join me from around the world. A lot of you know that you've done yourself a lot of work in silence. And so as you worked in that silence, somehow you were right, you were digging in, or you're excavating your own powers, right, by those and that always kind of gives you the directions and the driving force behind that, all of that thing. Wasn't David Icke banned from YouTube, Amy, you say? Yeah, that's why I give that math, in my journal. So let's see. Before I get to the title, Amy, I wanted to kind of give a backstory why I want to, because this is why I want to use what's going on with David Icke and Alex Jones right now, and to kind of show you something, what's going on in the media that is manifesting for me personally, because you guys know that I investigate media, right? So that's just my part. Yes, Amy, and Alex Jones. So now Alex Jones and David Icke united after being enemies. Now they're friends. So why did they unite? What unites them, basically? So this is the kind of math we're going to do today. So anyway, hello everybody. Hello Sunshine. Hello Amy. Hello Jeff. Hello Bella. Anna. Hello Miles. Good to see you. Darcy, hello. Thank you so much. Bruno, always so great to see you, my friend. Thank you so much for your beautiful comments. My dear friend in Italy, my shaman friend, and I love your comments all the time. So thank you, Bruno, and thank you for catching me live. I think I've named everybody that said hi to me. So, and Emmy, hi. I said hi, right, Emmy? Okay. All right. So hello to everyone else, and so let's start on this. Okay. So here's my mimosa. Yes, good evening, Darcy. I'm doing my journals a little bit later because you guys know that my blinds broke and I have to deal with too much light here and they can't come out right now to fix it. So my journals are going to be a little bit later, and I'm actually thinking to maybe move time even into my evening time, which is right now it's an early evening. So kind of maybe even a little bit later than this, because it's just impossible to deal with this light here. I haven't figured out how to block it all. So anyway, today I want to kind of approach this from this shamanic perspective to all of you that know that you've been in this lifetime, you holding sort of the flag of your ancestors, and you digging through it, and you end in this cycle of abuse for your own ancestral bloodline, like I talk about. And the way you can do it is by activating your own ancestors or standing up, like I like to say, because shamans, we have to stand up, you know. And this is what we do that in the spiritual world, and now that is manifesting. And everything what we've done to bring forth this collective healing stage, right? During this period, like I was talking about in my graph, the revelations period, we're literally living through the revelations in the Bible. That's like a history book, okay? It's not, but at the same time, we're repeating this cycle of abuse. And what is happening with this, as I call it, and the queens of Babylon? And I've talked a lot about this Babylonian tech. I've started talking about in spiritual communities to bring this sort of forth this what was what was we gonna face is this techno spirituality that existed forever here. This was the invasion, right? And so now we come to the point to where we see how all of that unraveling and this unveiling, as you might want to know, if I to go biblical, which I love to do, go biblical on there. You know what? Amy, you said breaking from tradition. So what we're seeing, as many are seeing, is this, if you go biblical, like I said, then you will see this separation or things that we're starting to see, or like I talk about clarity. And once we gain clarity in the reality, because we're entering this collective healing and in this collective wellness attainment process, that where we're going to go through this transmutation and transformation. And like I said, we're going to transmute and transform and turn into humanity that we originally meant to be. And this is by what some people call it, that we might be able to access our, what some call it, junk DNA. And this is what ultimately the spiritual world is, or the ether, okay? Because that's what it is. And this is what ultimately the field of ether is, what shamans have access to. And this is why you can call yourself a shaman. But you attain that through your own inner abilities, of developing your abilities, like I always call it. And so for us, for those of us that been working on our individual abilities and then contributing those individual experiences of healing to the collective, and now can, like I said, we can reap our benefits, or we can see in our reality that healing that we all work for on individual level now to start manifesting, or that path of attaining that wellness or wholeness, if you want to look at it from a spiritual perspective, from perspective of spirit, because this is when you're well, is when you operate as human being, which is a divine human being, a creator being in human form, meaning intelligent human being. This is when we live up to our own intelligence, right? And this is that 95% of DNA, junk DNA. Hi, Gaia. Hi, Johnny. So, and of course, body, and we look at from different perspective. And I've talked about like even here tonic water. You know what it does, and quinines or what? I just can't say it. Okay. So anyway, so what I want to talk about is how is this, because media plays a huge role in the collective, how the collective timeline, because this is pretty much the channels through what um, the collective is sort of is programmed. And then the media, whatever you project, right? And then if humanity believes that and accepts that, if I talked before, and what happens, and how some um, forces here, and we know that, are attempting to drive human consciousness into a totally different direction. And that's what you call it, a transhuman timeline agenda and all of that stuff. But yet I said this is why we're in a revelation, because this transhuman agenda never could take place in true reality because of divine human being. Because we have ability to access that rest of that 95%, what they call it a junk DNA. I call it a divine DNA. That's our ether. Okay. So anyway, so what I wanted to talk about and give this perspective, it's what I am seeing. So then you can see that it's already starting this revelation on the collective, which I said a few journals back about the peaking time. And so now, because I've been talking about the purge for a while, you guys, for what, 3-4 years now? Right? So what we're gonna see is the truth, the real truth without those, because once we, like I said, those of us that went through our own transmutation, then this is what I said, this is why through your own quantum field, by anchoring that consciously in your body, you can restructure your whole field, right? And now you are driven by the power within. And so this is now becomes a power struggle, right? And so we can see that power struggle manifested now. And and everything what I was talking about, it's all about the Babylonian tech and Babylonian religion and Babylonian belief system and Babylonian this and that. This is all about that type of invasion, okay? And so it's been, so that illusion or the lie becomes visible on a collective level. And so, like I said in the past, we've seen that in mainstream media is pretty much right now, you just see all out in the open how it's, as soon as the lie gets out there, immediately gets seen that it's a lie. Whatever's lie doesn't stick anymore. And so, like I said in the past, you guys, didn't you think that they wouldn't infiltrate truth movement? They've infiltrated truth movement quite a bit ago, long ago. And most of the people out there are, if you talk about politics and all the double agents in all the agency and all the double and triple and agents and and 5 eyes and 5 assholes and all of those grandiose titles that they like to give to each other, right? But it doesn't matter. It's all when you really look at it from a perspective of a shaman. Okay? So then you know your divine purpose. And this is what ultimately why I speak is so to ultimately sort of I'm talking about how to build this foundation for yourself, because you have to trust yourself first. Without trusting yourself, you can't build your house. You can't build your house on the because stone, building your house on the stone on the sand. Stone means you build it on trusting yourself, trusting your eternity, like I said, trusting your eternity. So you build it on your own foundation, okay? On your own. So then what's going to be happening in that as we do this, as we actually do this, that action itself that we took individually, this is the kind of stuff, this is why I talk about this. So because this is what's interesting to me, is that everything what we do individually is reflected in the totality, and the way it's reflected and the way it changes the totality. And this is why I am journaling this, because this is ultimately what I see. And so what happens when we go through this and we step into this sort of individual that is built, and each individual that is built their wellness, they're built their reality, and their own life is on foundation of wellness, true wellness, then they stand unbreakable, and there is nothing, no wind's gonna knock them over and destroy their reality, their house, right? If you want to go biblical, nothing will destroy them. So now what's going to happen is you're going to guys see, and this is why I brought up, because we see in this already in the collective manifesting with David Icke and Alex Jones. But what happens on the individual level when you attain that on the individual level, and you see, then you see the untruth, or you see what does not belong to you. You see any and all belief systems. And this is why I say they don't belong to you, they're not yours. When you build yourself on true wellness, and you can only build that by having a core and having a root. And your roots is what? Your ancestral bloodline. That's your roots in this reality. And this is why we have to do so much of that, and the cycles of your abuse for all of our ancestors, because they run through our blood. And this is what cleanses our blood on a spiritual level. Because, I've talked about cleansing on all levels. There's a spiritual level to cleansing the blood. Okay. But anyway, so I want to come back and see like what you can see. Exactly. You will see the people then once you realize that you are standing on the foundation, and what is happening through a revelation period, and what's going to happen everything's going to be visible. Nothing can stay hidden in this time. Not that people won't try, but nothing will stay hidden. You just have to have the eyes to see. And when you gain the eyes to see, when you yourself return your power or reclaim your own individual power, because individual power is a lot more, that's your strength. That's the power, that's the true power. And then the group think and the following the master, right, will only lead you into you completely have no control over your reality. right? And that's that timeline. And so what happens is people have no control over their reality. What is happening? There are crying victims out there. I have no control over anything. Right? Because they have not returned their own individual power. And this is why I so talk about this, and yet in the opposite. And this is what you will see too once you build that foundation on true wellness for yourself and you standing in eternity, like I keep saying, then you can see, and you have the eyes to see. So now you can see on the collective level what is happening and how that dissolving of that transhuman timeline is actually taking place right before your eyes, if you have the eyes to see, because now you are not blind, because you are not in that blind world anymore. You're awakened, and this is what true awakening is, that return of your own power. You have to reclaim it first. And so this is what I say. But then, so why does then the question is now, if you look at that, and then in the collective, we've already, there's so many of you just here, I'm not alone in this. There's so many of you here, and you know what I'm talking about. Now we see this in the collective, and we also gonna see in the collective the illusion dissolving. So when the illusion and that timeline is in its dying stage, right? So why do then, if the key to awakening, to true awakening, is individual power, why would David Icke and Alex Jones do a little, uniting of forces in public? Is it because they have reclaimed the individual power that it takes to withstand this spiritual war? Or is it because they need to unite, come together? Yes, Amy, they came together after all these years being enemies. They come together to unite in cry for coronavirus. They're united in that. They really want to make money off of it. And so that's why all of that stuff is. But anyway, so let me go back. So why is it? So ask yourself a question. And this is why I kind of put it in a question form for people. I know that Sleepy Joes, they're not going to be able to do this kind of math. So I'm not worried about them. They're not. It's just going to come in, what I say, and it's going to go out. And those of you guys that know, because you go, oh, so you'll know what I'm saying. So it will become more and more and more visible. And this is what, Amy, I said in the past. I called Alex Jones and many other of them drama queens, because Alex Jones is a drama queen. They've been given a script of being a drama queen. And then Alex Jones became a drama Q. Right? He became a drama Q. And then then he fell flat on his face with that, and that didn't work out. and nothing seemed to be sticking these days. Then he grabbed a megaphone and he went screaming. Remember when Alex Jones grabbed a megaphone and went screaming for people to get all angry and all of that stuff and whatever words here. Basically, they're looshing. They're getting you, and I've explained how it works. It's all same patterns. So they're just looshing you for anger. And they have to keep you in that low fear factory workers. And so basically, so the fear factory workers, after all these years, Darcy, you said Ike was essential. We all got something from him. Didn't even lie. I don't lie. I never said. I said I'm grateful to him, and he told a lot of truth. A lot of truth. And a lot of the master slaves do. But he was essential. Of course he was. They always infiltrate from within. They knew the real awakening was coming. It was predicted by all of the tribes in the world, including Bible. So you guys, I'm not attacking. I'm just showing you. Go look for yourself. Why would somebody like David Icke, who has been speaking his truth, right? He's been speaking his truth for how long? 30 years. So you're going to tell me that truth movement didn't get infiltrated by club idiots? That's when it was right there. They put him on pedestal 30 years ago in mainstream media. Because that's all connected. Okay? It's all connected. Why is it connected then, Darcy? Because then, see, I can't explain to somebody that cannot even allow their mind to realize, or they can't comprehend what infiltration from within and how each and every movement have been infiltrated. And if there's people that are still can't comprehend the fact that, that they've infiltrated every movement, every revolution, everything is controlled, eventually gets infiltrated. And for people today to sit there and be still claiming that the truth movement, that, oh no, they left the truth movement alone. Why would they infiltrate truth movement? This is the last thing they want to do. Why would they infiltrate truth movement? This is the first and the most important priority. Because media is crucial in controlling and projecting on collective consciousness of humanity. You have control of that. You have control of all of humanity. So, oh no, they would not put their agents in truth movement and have them pretend like they're all pro-human and all of that stuff. Oh yeah, they're not going to do that at all. They've done it to everything else. But when it comes to controlling all of humanity, they're not going to do it. They forgot about it. They didn't think it's that important. Zuzi. I know, Zuzi. They didn't. They infiltrated it. I mean, so I don't want to argue about that. Whose agent, whatever, they can have their tantrums, when, with whoever. I'm not here to change their diapers, Darcy. So I'm not gonna explain to people how, what I'm just showing to you, but you go look for yourself, okay? If you still believe that the truth movement is not infiltrated, and the truth media is not infiltrated, then I can't help you. I'm sorry, I can't really. There is no help, for that, because it's because this is where comes the betrayal, the spiritual betrayal, and the cover up for that, and the invasion of evil that pretends to be good. And media, solely media, is responsible for protecting those activities and protecting what? Blood market. So now, when it's becoming visible on the collective level that people like David Icke and Alex Jones do protect blood market, in fact, and then they have to bring their cover up together because they have to collude together, because Fear Factory masks are off. Absolutely. Absolutely not during the revelations. Enough with that. So, and the thing is like I said, I'm going to wait because a lot of people don't understand this yet. Okay? But everything what's happening, it's done on purpose. Okay? And so here we are, okay? We are talking about right now, you guys talking about, okay, David Icke, 30 years, right? And like I said, he said so many different, many forms about so many different things. He said the truth. There was a lot of things he talked about over 30 years, brought a lot of awareness to a lot of people and all of that stuff. And all of that, right? But yet, he claims that now that he is wanted to help humanity, and he is now has to come out, and now the next thing, the more things will be revealed, the more these goons will have to come out and explain why it is that they protected those activities. And this is what, in a way, you don't have to believe me. You go watch what they're going to be talking about and all of that stuff. But the move right now, I can guarantee you, because what happened is, like I told you, these people are tasked, and trust me, they make them at the farm. They're tasked to infiltrate truth movement. And they've done well, because even here, there's a few people that come in and they're going to tell me after 30 years, they couldn't figure out. They couldn't figure out, right? Hi, Morocco. Wow, hi. Thank you so much for being here. So basically, why are they coming together? Okay, because of the forces, the dying forces. So what I'm saying is, and I don't want to talk about it, but I feel like there's a lot of things that's going to come out about this particular virus and how it's going to bring a lot of clarity on many of these people. Right? It's going to put them on microscope, and then here's you got to follow the money and all of that stuff, because right now they're all out there trying to protect their money or protect their monthly donations or protect their their channels that that make money and all of that stuff. So and what are they pumping up? So it's a fear factory. So they got to pump up everybody with fear. So when they deleted his accounts, right? Just like Alex Jones tried that. Oh my God. And they again try it now. No. So now they brought David Icke and Alex Jones, and now David Icke is going to do the same trick that Alex Jones did. What was it last year? That when his YouTube got canceled, but his Twitter didn't, and his he had a website. Everybody knew of his website, and so is David Icke. Why are they screaming like nobody knows that they have websites? That the only thing people can have access to them only on YouTube and only on Facebook. Or you can go type on Google David Icke's website. See? Why all this flufla, as I said, of anger and scream that is all artificial. David Icke had 30 years of free mic. Free mic. Okay, you guys, 1 second. 1 second. Saxon. Sorry about that. My big dog wants to go outside really badly, and he's bugging me to go outside, so I had to go get somebody to. So I'm sorry about that. Okay. So he had 30 years to speak the truth. Is there anything new he really, really has to offer at this point that we haven't heard from him? Truly of original, anything original that he can offer right now that's worth anything. So why hype up and do this? Why artificially hype this up? And what is his latest information is about, which has been for many, many years, fear factory. Scaring you. Telling you how all this is going to be, and there is nothing else. You're all done. Disempowering collective. That's what they do. Disempowering. Keeping you at anger, blind. And that's what he's done for 30 years. But go ahead. Go ahead. Now, all he, and this is going to be no surprise for you guys, but this is where all this crying about his deleted Facebook and his deleted YouTube, this is where all this crying is going to end up. Guess where? Buy David Icke's number 25 book, because 10 books, or how many books has he wrote? Bestsellers. Oh, it's not enough. So let me guess, David Icke. Let's see, what's the fix to your canceled YouTube channel and Facebook? Let me guess. Oh, let me use my let me use my ball. Look into it. Let's see. How can we restore David Icke? He's such a helpful. We need his original information. What can he tell us that will empower us human beings? Stand up for our children, because David Icke been telling us all about it. But so how David Icke is gonna be helped. Everything's gonna be okay. Just send him money, please. Money will help. Money will help. Money will help. Because they're crying about money. They're losing money. They're not crying about or even attempting to help humanity to regain the power, so we have the power to stand up for our innocent children. Oh no. Oh no, that's not gonna help. You send money, and that's gonna help. So this is why they're united. Because блядские жиды. That's why. Because you know what, you guys? They can't think past money. They can't comprehend reality past money, because that's their God. So what they're gonna cry about? Money. So why is Icke crying? Because he can't milk for money. The same way why all the rest of the scum out there, they're just milking you through fear. All of you in Truth Movement, they're milking you through fear. That's what they do. That's what they do. They're just milking you for money. Money fixes everything. Remember? They were going to put, oh yeah, carbon dioxide in the air. Greta, Bethel, how dare you? How dare you? How dare you? Here's your Greta's out there. Money, well, why don't you write another book, David Icke? I don't know. About how we need to be afraid of. What's next is it that we need to be afraid of? This is what they're trying to figure out. And this is what they're going to push, is fear, fear, fear. And their solution is money in their pocket. So now, Richie from Boston, they have a lot of those people embedded in Truth Movement that have those sort of positions. They're all actors, all raised on the farm, absolutely lying tongues. And here comes your Babylonian tech and all of that spirituality that connects to that Babylonian. And here I want to talk about that Babylonian light language and what those scumbags, vampires, actually, those are vampires, actually, you guys. So those people are possessed, basically. This is the dead language. It's old broken Aramaic language that was long ago, Babylonian. So imagine that. It's like a that thing that gets stuck on the what is that, the vinyl player, the music, and it gets stuck on the thing. It just the vinyl music player thing. Remember the word, but anyway, so when it gets stuck and just repeats itself, this is what the light language they're talking about. They're just possessed by those entities, just leftovers, dead nanotech. That's all it is. So anyway, so I am not going to go into details why yet, but there is a big why. And I just wanted to kind of test the waters with you guys, because I know a lot of people are going to be so upset. Lily, how could you say such a bad thing to that David Icke? But he needs money. They cut off his YouTube. He needs money. You don't understand. He needs it. This is how they sound to me. I'm sorry, but a grown man who claimed to have the wisdom, the spiritual wisdom, acting that way, right? It's disgusting. Trying to scare you. When we attempting to find the courage, to find the strength, to stand up for our innocence, so we can do what we're here to do, is to stand in the spirit as warriors. But then what are the spiritual wisdom holders have done for 30 years, like David Icke? They sold us fear. They kept us in fear, milking us, looshing our energy, getting rich off of us, selling you book after book after book, but yet never enough. These people have never enough. They get greed is what drives them. Greed will not think of standing up and speaking up for the children. Greed will make them speak of children, speak of, not for, two different things. Okay, and this is how you know them. When those that are using the subject of children, like I said last time, to gain buck or two, they will not speak for the children. They'll speak of the children, and they speak of the atrocities because they want to emotionally hook you. So at the end, they'll tell you, and here's where you send the money. You do, because you've been hooked. But there is a difference with those who speak for the children and those who speak for the children also act on their words. They don't sit there and tell everybody else to be afraid of New World Order like he does. Like Jones does. Because fear is also a hook. Because in the end, after it just scared the shit out of you, and then they tell you, but we've got the solution. Here's David Icke with his solution. Buy my book. Great marketing move. Congratulations, come back. Bill Gates. Oh, another Bill Gates. So, you see, they will speak just like my favorite scumbag is David Seaman. A favorite scumbag. You remember how he used children to get crypto? I called him crypto pimp. He's still upset at me to this day. And you remember how much cryptocurrency did he get? Talking about children? Did he back it up with action? Zero action, right? Only, so you guys can see. And it's happening right now with David Icke, and that's why I brought it up. And just a few days ago, they announced, so I don't know if they had their thing with do you guys know if they had their thing with, what's his name? It's another blob of fat, Alex Jones. Narcissistic blob of fat, Alex Jones. If he ever hears this, narcissistic blob of fat, Alex Jones. Okay, so I don't know if they had. Do you guys know if they had that thing or not? Well, they do in some cases, and they're given some power. And this is what I say: when they pick up on some sort of, but then there are the invasions. So the usually they will replace that, and then that there's always twists. So it's never as straightforward with them, because it's always invasion, because it's a parasitic form, it's vampiric form of consciousness that is controlling these people. And this is what, this is what the whole spiritual world war is all about. And now we're entering this on the collective level. It's spiritual world, so war, so it's invisible, but yet those energy are manifested in physical. And so you will see all this, and so there is all kinds of moves going on. All kinds of moves going on. So you guys, you will see. But I mean, let's just even take a year ago. How much more visible right now people like that are in the media? And so this is why the purge goes on. And the queens, or these drama queens, this is what they keep it at the drama level. Okay? Because when you stand on the foundation of true wellness, you stand in your true power. And your power is enormous and tremendous. If you know how to wield it, how to put the will behind. And this is what, it's almost like your will is all, that's your power, is your will in action. And that's how your power is, when you actually do something. But if you a Bletsky Žid, like David Seaman, then what do? You use the suffering of children to line your Żydowski bladzki pockets. That's what you do when you David Seaman. That's what you do, right? So when you David Icke, what you do? You cry about your YouTube being canceled. But those of us that been sharing the truth never made buck or two. They've canceled my Facebook 3 times, kicked me out of the Facebook. Do I go and cry about it? Or do I create a new account and go forth? But what do we do to be the wood with Ike with his little lips? My lips just too big for it. But still, you do David Ike. He's so special. He's gonna cry about his money. Crypto pimps. And then, because what? 3 7s. Hi. Jose, hi. Fenrir, hi. Morocco, you had said here, Garrett Truth, I don't know. David Seaman, yes, he used to be a Washington Post journalist, and then they stage kind of in a similar way. They stage his departure because he said something about the political stuff. But anyway, it's all connected though. But he was mainstream, and then he went into truth movement and became one of these infiltrators. And then I exposed him, and he got upset. Got really upset at me. I call him Jid, and he knows what that means. Randy, my favorite. They're all my favorite. I call them my favorite, just so they can feel even more special when I'm calling them out. Randy, but this is where why I call them crypto pimps, because this is what they protect. That all of that activity is actually, and this is what the ultimate goal of that timeline was, to get to that. And this is why ultimately I talk about the Googlies' involvement, huge involvement, and why all of this is connected to spirituality and what they wanted to do with that timeline, and how they wanted to actually for everybody to go cryptocurrency. And then crypto, because all until now, cryptocurrency is for dark web only. Okay, and so that was an attempt to bring it into mainstream and make it all, and take it all over, take it over the control of internet. So this was actually about control of internet, and me too. So it goes really, really deep. Oh my God, it goes really deep. But the cover up, of course, is multi-layered. There's a cover up, and then they, like I said, the cover up. So like they kicked out David Seaman and told him, well, now you're gonna go and do your truth movement, and you can milk a lot of money, and you can still get paid directly by protecting your black markets and your blood market on dark web. You can just get rich on cryptocurrency. And all of those people that are involved in all the gaming industry, and then how Club Idiots Assembly is using those people, and how all of that's been used for intelligence, and to gather intelligence, and to communicate, and to all of that. So all of that was it was about the ultimate control, right? What's the solution? Okay, so basically what's going to be happening, the more these people cry, the more you will see that more that means that the more of the collective is truly waking up. Because there's just so this is kind of how you can feel the energies, because there is a that middle point where you find your equilibrium individually, when you always have to be in this equilibrium. There's no separation in duality when you stand in the center point. So you see reality on both sides. And so and you don't have blinders on them. So this is the solution. The solution to all of this is individual power, an individual foundation, an individual that is empowered and standing in their eternity point is unstoppable, unbreakable. And that's it, because it is the carrier of that divine force or the spirit, the great spirit, as our ancestors, Native Americans, believe it or not, you guys. There is a relation there. But anyway, our ancestors had called it great spirit. The great spirit can only operate through individual when that individual accepts this individual power within. Just like if you want to go biblical, as Jesus said, that the temple of God is within. And so, and this is what it's all about. This is the solution. Empowering yourself, attaining the gnosis from within, and knowing and trusting your eternal self, and then shamanic journey. Taking on shamanic journey, meaning that your life becomes that shamanic journey. And that's the ultimate sort of purpose for a divine human being, is to become that ultimate shaman who walks in that eternity each moment. And that's ultimately the power of human being. And nothing can stop that human being or knock it over. Because all of these things and everything, why do you think it requires so much projection and so much of that to disempower individual and to make individuals submit into this collective communist crap? that goes on all levels, and that's including spiritual, and that's the Antichrist, because Christ was all about individual empowerment, because Christ said each and every one of you are like me. And that's the key thing. And this is why I said I do like go biblical, because that's what truly what the power is all about. It's about individual power. But what this crying is all about on this side of that, and in the media, is all about to keep people disempowered, to keep people afraid, to keep people thinking that somehow suffocating themselves with a mask is going to protect them from a virus that it just like it doesn't add up. But in some people's head, and we're witnessing that right now, we're witnessing the truth of it. People are walking outside suffocating themselves right now. Because what? Because they're standing in their power? Is it because they're found their God within? Or is it because they're scared? Because they went to David Icke, and David Icke and listened to David Icke and listened to Alex Jones, and David Icke told them, you have no way out, but you're going to submit to this virus. That's basically what David Icke said. So now he's going to cry that that video was canceled. So every victim gets hooked in and then goes and listens to David Icke video where he says, you're going to submit to this. Because that's what he's basically saying. This is what he is begging humanity to do, to submit to this. And like I said, Everyone who used this to control and to direct people, karma's coming their way. Oh my God, I'm over now. So, see, master slave. And I am not, like you said, this is not personal. David Icke, Alex Jones. I'm just showing you because you guys know them. That's why, because they're big. You can see. See it for yourself. See it for yourself. But I say, when you look and when you truly have the eyes, like I said, it's only when you truly attain the power, when you return your own power, when you claim your own power, when you are that shaman every minute, every second. In that state, in equilibrium, go and listen to that video. There's so many other platforms besides YouTube. I'm sure it's there somewhere. But what is it all about? I don't want to encourage people to do it, but I will tell you, ultimately, it is meant to keep you in submission and in fear. If you haven't figured that out, that's okay. I am not convincing. So for any one of you that think I am like going after them personally because, and making fun of them because of this, or they're, or they have more viewers, or it's not about that. It's not about that. I've seen these people use humanity to line up their pockets, and it's disgusting to me. That's why I'm speaking up. Because I'm disgusted by their actions, by their greed. I'm disgusted by this greed that occupies most of the truth speakers out there. It's disgusting. So anyway, you guys, I am over an hour, but I thank you so much for watching this, and I thank you so much for liking this videos, and I thank you so much for coming on here live, and I thank you for commenting, you guys. I know that some of my information can sound a little bit harsh, but you guys have to understand that I have only a certain amount of time where I truly want to convey certain things and certain energies that we will experience. So you guys all stay strong in your own eternity, because that's where your power lays, okay? And so I love you all so much, and this is a subject to be continued, okay, you guys? We're just starting. It is very difficult, and this energy of, seeing the truth of it is very difficult. Very difficult. So it's not going to be easy, but we're all ready. So and excited to do so, because once the healing is done and we put past in the past on the collective level, that's the celebration. Then this is the this is where we can enjoy our lives. So I love you guys so much. Thank you so much. And so until next time, you all stay wild.